It's Tuesday, September 26, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. Thank you for joining us. We have a great show in store for you today. We will start things off with DPW Director Dan Santos. He fills us in on what they do for hurricane preparedness. Then we will talk with Assistant Director of Senior Services, Donna Burns. And finally, we'll share our intern, Megan Mamlock's interview with BHS volleyball coach, Tom Turco. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. Inspection and maintenance work will be performed on the Sagamore Bridge this week, Wednesday, September 27th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. During this time, one travel lane heading on Cape will be restricted for work. One lane heading on Cape and both travel lanes heading off Cape will remain open for travel. No wide loads will be permitted to cross the bridge when lane restrictions are in place. The town of Barnstable is pleased to announce artist Melissa Morris as the new Studio 46 Artist in Residence at 46 Pearl Street, Hyannis on the Hyannis High Arts campus. Morris intends to offer meditation and yoga classes as well as monthly drawing and painting workshops. The Hyannis High Arts campus Artist in Residence program is an opportunity for members of the creative economy to rent a professional working artist studio space and gallery. We will have an interview with Melissa in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. Fall is in the air, and the town of Barnstable and Cape Cod Healthcare are once again partnering to host another blood drive here at the HYCC. The drive will take place inside Cape Cod Healthcare's brand new bloodmobile on Friday, September 29th from 10 to 4 p.m. Everyone who donates will receive a certificate from Cumberland Farms. There is a desperate need for blood, and you can all be assured that the blood that is collected will stay here on Cape and be used for care for local residents. Up next, we will hear from DPW Director Dan Santos. Joining me now live on the phone, we have our DPW Director Dan Santos. Dan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes. So we're going to talk about hurricane preparedness. I know the DPW does a lot of work to get ready for hurricanes in the event that we might have one. I know you do a lot of tabletop prep and things like that. So why don't you tell me what exactly you guys do?
Okay. Well, it's certainly a fact of life that we occasionally get hurricanes in the Northeast. Fortunately, it hasn't been that frequently,
yes.
At least in the last couple of decades. But the thing is, you never know, and it's quite possible that we could get a hurricane. And as you all know, last week there was certainly the risk of the hurricane coming, and turned out to be a tropical storm, and even that wasn't all that bad. It kind of hung to the east, and I think the lesson out of that is that these things move, and it's very difficult to predict. That's why there's so many models, and just tens of miles movement one way or another means a big difference in the weather. So it just means that we have to be prepared for these changes. And so in the case of last week, on Tuesday, where they were predicting some pretty heavy wind and rain on overnight, we actually had people stay. We had for the winter storms and for snow and ice, we have A, B, and C crews that are available at a moment's notice. And so we went into that mode, and we used the same structure and people, and so we had them come in or stay in. Actually, at the end of the day, they usually work till 3:30, and they worked. Crew A stayed on till midnight, and that consisted of 3 highway crews, so people that can deal with road issues, and 2 forestry crews, people that could deal with tree issues. And really that's what we're trying to take care of, particularly in heavy rain events and flooding, is keeping the roads clear for public safety, and that means sometimes we have to pump flooded areas. We have to put barricades to keep people from going there, and then when trees come down, we need to be able to clear those trees quickly. So we had those people available to midnight, and then Crew B came in at midnight and worked overnight, and then we would have continued that ABC rotation throughout the duration of the storm or cleanup. Fortunately, it didn't work out that way, and we could just immediately go back to our normal work day. So that's the kind of thing we're thinking of, and that saves time by having people here available. Typically, if we're not aware and we just get the call from the police, who typically lets us know there's an issue, Then they call the supervisors. Supervisors have to call people in, and that takes time. By having people staged, we can just immediately go right out. So there's a kind of thought process that goes through. You mentioned tabletop exercises. We do one every year. Last year we did one, and we exercised different parts of our response, either the pre-preparation for the storm, or during a storm, or post and cleanup. So we don't try to do it all in one exercise. And actually, we're going to be doing one again this year on October 5th, and we're going to be including some of the senior management from Town Hall in our exercise this year. You know, the purpose of the exercise is it's like with police or fire. You go through scenarios and what-ifs so that when the real situation occurs, you know how to respond automatically. It's that whole concept of muscle memory. You know what to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, this has happened. Here's what we do. You don't have to spend time thinking about or trying things, because that wastes valuable time when it's of the most importance. You know, when property or people are at risk or in danger of being injured. So,
wow, you guys do. I didn't realize that you did. You have the three different, the A, B, and C groups that you have coming in. I think that's such a wonderful idea. Like you said, you can get right out there, you know, pump out that flooded road, pick up that, you know, tree debris, or if a tree goes down, you can get out there and clear that tree from the road. So, you know, if there's an emergency, then ambulances and the police cars and everybody can get through. I think that's so wonderful that you guys do that. I know it's a lot of work on your staff, but I mean, like you said, it's so great to be able to have them there ready to go. You don't have to call them in. There's no delay.
Right. Well, the other part of that ABC is a lot of these events, particularly snow events, can go on for days and days, and people have to get rest. Mm-hmm. And so by having some people working and some people resting, you can just go on indefinitely, basically.
Yeah,
but if you have everyone respond at once, they're going to get burned out, and then you have nothing.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. If you employ the same A, B, and C groups when there's a snow and ice event, I think that's so great, because you don't want anyone out there on the road that's, you know, been on for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and that's what happens because the snow keeps coming. We got to clear the roads. It's a real issue with public works departments and snow removal crews, you know, wherever there's snow. Mm-hmm. And we talk about it at conferences, and there's papers written about it, but at the end of the day, we got to move the snow. So, and you don't have unlimited equipment or people.
Yes.
So it's a balance.
Yep, exactly. So that's so great to hear, and thank you so much for joining us today and letting us know what you guys do for hurricane and storm prep in general. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, Dan. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. My guest today is DPW Director Dan Santos. Coming up, we will share our interview with Barnstable High School volleyball coach Tom Turco. But first, we check in with Senior Services Assistant Director Donna Burns. Joining me now is Donna Burns. She's the Assistant Director of Senior Services. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
So we have a couple of things we want to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Job Seekers for 50 Plus program that you guys have. It's starting up on the 21st, which is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So what can you tell me about this program?
Well, this is an exciting program for, as the title infers, people over 50 who are looking for jobs. This is a program that's funded by the Mass Councils on Aging, and it's our third year. We were one of the first sites chosen to launch this project, and now there are about 16 sites. There originally were only 6.
Wow.
And we're very, very excited. It has been such a positive experience for the people that take part in this, as well as for us as the Senior Center being able to offer this service.
So what kind of job seekers do you tend to see that are looking for jobs in the 50-plus age range?
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting. There's a few different types of folks. Some folks are workers over 50 who, sadly, when we had our, big recession back in 2008 to 2010, actually had good jobs that they had expected that they would be staying in probably until retirement. And suddenly, when there was that financial calamity, a lot of the people that were first cut were older workers that were making, a decent salary, given their years of experience and their tenure in their job. And suddenly, they found themselves in a place they never thought they'd be, which is looking for a job later in life.
Yeah.
That presents a lot of new challenges.
Definitely. That's got to be really hard to go through that and to be back looking for a job, especially here on Cape Cod, because we all know that jobs here on Cape Cod are a little tough to come by.
There are unique challenges down here given our seasonal job market. So, that's tough for some people to understand that if they're looking for a professional level job, then they very well may have to travel over the bridge. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for a part-time job, that's the other job seeker that we're seeing, is someone that is, a little older, and they're realizing they could use some more money, just to make ends meet. It's a beautiful place to live, but it's expensive.
It is.
So some of the things that we touch on are, what do you do when you're stuck in your job search and you're finding that your age is a barrier, you're feeling that people aren't necessarily taking you seriously, how to get around that by punching up your resume, making sure that your skills are relevant, learning how to network, because about 75% of all jobs, believe it or not, are found through networking.
That's not surprising, especially here on Cape Cod. A lot of, so-and-so's hiring. I think I might have someone that's perfect for that job. There's a lot of word of mouth, and that all comes from networking. So it's an important skill to have.
It is, and we teach folks how to learn to do that, have a LinkedIn profile, and how to use social media to get the word out there that, hey, I'm available, this is what I have to offer, and, if you hear of anything, let me know. And this has really helped people with their confidence, learning new skills, and just, having someone to bounce ideas off of. It's a structured program. I don't want people to think we just sit around and commiserate. There's different topics every single session. We're twice a month, as you had mentioned, and go through all sorts of practical support and skills sessions. We have employers. We have a myriad of different things, and it's free. So if anyone's interested, I'd love to hear from them.
That's great. So the Job Seekers 50-plus program is on the first and third Thursday of every month from 9 to 11, and it starts on Thursday, the 21st.
It is, and it's free.
It's free.
And we'll even serve you coffee.
Oh, well, there you go. Perfect. The other program we want to talk about is the Savvy Caregiver program that you guys are starting up. This is going to be starting up on Wednesday, October 4th. It's going to run for 6 weeks. What can you tell me about the Savvy Caregiver program?
Well, this will be our second session. Stacy Cullen, who is our Adult Supportive Day program director, and myself went up to the Healthy Living Center of Excellence to be specially trained in this program. Probably one of the loneliest and most difficult jobs that you can have, and nobody signs up for this, is to find yourself as a caregiver of someone who has Alzheimer's or some other related dementia. There are so many layers and different aspects to this new role, not only what you're going through, but what your person who has this diagnosis is going through. And some of the things that this program will do is help you to understand the impact of dementia on both the caregiver and the person that you're caring for, and just learning to manage daily life as a caregiver.
It's a lot to take on as a caregiver, so it's great to, have a program where you can get the support you need and maybe learn some tools for being a caregiver and understanding how it all works.
Absolutely, and I have to say this is a program that, again, was put together by a group of medical social services professionals. It's an outstanding program. The first group that went through the program felt it was more than beneficial to them, and they come away with a lot of great information. We help them learn about perhaps support services on the Cape here that they're not aware of that could help them out. And I would encourage everyone, again, it's free. It's here at the Barnstable Senior Center, but it's open to anyone. You don't have to live in Barnstable to take part in this program. And we actually do offer respite if you need that to come to take part in this as a caregiver. You just have to give me a call so that we can talk about what your person's situation is.
And what's the best number to reach you at?
The best number, my direct line, is 508-862-4753. And I would encourage you also, even if you aren't ready to sign up for this program, it's just one of the things of many that we do here at the Barnstable Senior Center, but we feel very strongly that one of the most important things we can do is to support our family caregivers. So even if you aren't ready to come to this program, if you have questions, if you want to find out about our day program, please do call me. We're here for you.
Wonderful. And again, that Savvy Caregiver program starts Wednesday, October 4th from 1 to 2:30. It's going to be a 6-week program. So if you're interested in signing up or you want more information, feel free to give Donna a call. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, filling us in, like you said, there's so much going on at the Senior Center. I mean, we could probably talk for an hour about everything you guys have going on. So just highlighting a couple of the programs you guys have right now.
Well, it's a great place to be in. If you've never been here, please come in and check us out. I guarantee you will be surprised.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you so much. Our guest today is Assistant Director of Senior Services, Donna Burns.
We're joined today by head coach Tom Turco of the Barnstable volleyball team at the high school. Thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
It's great reminiscing.
Good to talk to you again.
So this year, what's so special about this year, and what are some of your goals that you have for the team?
Well, I don't have goals for the team. The players meet right after the first practice, and they set their player-oriented goals. They go in with the seniors and with no coaches, and they come out with the team goals, and that's the most important thing.
And how's the team dynamic working out this year? Do you have a younger team? Is it more older players, or how's it working
Well,
out?
we've got 6 seniors, 4 juniors, 4 sophomores, a freshman, and an 8th grader.
Mm-hmm. Wow, an 8th grader, that's pretty big.
Well, she's got the skill that warrants it, so.
Yeah. Speaking of skill, what do you look for in a player when you're looking through the tryouts and throughout the grades?
Well, you're looking for skill first. I mean, effort and things like that, they're natural, and that's just a natural part of anybody involved in this program. So, you're looking at skill, basically, in a tryout.
So what's your philosophy that keeps everyone together? What's your mission statement or vision statement for the team and how you coach?
Well, I mean, we base our coaching philosophy and our team philosophy around the book, The Winner Within. And, that's just a book that guides us in the principles of teamwork. And, the name of the book is The Winner Within, a life plan for team players. And it's something that we've found that works over the last 20 years. So we're going to keep doing it.
Would you say that contributes to the great success that you've had over your past 18 state championships and your records and everything?
I think so. One of the philosophies that he talks about is that you can have a great team, you can have a talented team, but if you don't have a together team, then you're not going to have the championship team that you aspire to be.
So, what's some of your future plans? There's a rumor that once you get to 20 that you might, end your volleyball career once Riley, James, and Ingrid might possibly get you to that. So what's your take on the rumors?
No, that's actually pretty funny. As long as I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and as long as I'm successful, and the players are motivated and driven to be the best in the state, those are the things that keep you coming back. I'm no spring chicken, so, somewhere down the road, but leaving after a player or a couple players graduate is kind of silly. So.
Yeah. Do you have a goal set in mind for a number that you want to reach with state championships?
No, the next one.
So good, pretty good. Can you describe like your background with volleyball and your career so far?
Well, I played 1 year of club volleyball at Bridgewater State College at the time, and you know, when I came to Barnstable, I wanted to try something other than adapted phys ed, which is, you know, which was the job that paid me. And I was just curious if I could be successful working with mainstream kids, and so I gave it a shot.
So like what made you fall in love with the sport of volleyball? Like what like intrigued you about it?
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it in college. It was the only job available, JV volleyball back in 1986, so I gave it a shot. And, you know, after some trial and a lot of error, you know, we found some philosophies that worked.
And like recently we had a pretty emotional night with the remembrance of Olivia. Can you take us through that and how, you know, she was a player for you and, you know, much more than that?
Yeah, Olivia was just a special person. You know, she was the type of person that was always positive, always found that silver lining, and just handled the adversity that she went through with hope and a positive attitude. And, you know, she was then and is now, you know, what our players aspire to be.
So like with that in mind and with, you know, how you coach your players and everything, how do you guys stay cool and calm under pressure throughout, you know, the games and then when it gets close to state finals and everything else?
You know, I tried this, this technique that I heard about at a national volleyball convention. They said if you expect your players to be able to be calm during pressure situations, you have to manufacture pressure situations in practice. And that's why we do the drill guts or 8-ball or you know, things like that, because you have to press them during practice. And I think that's one of the reasons that they're calm during the tough times. You played on that team where we were down 10-3 in the state semifinal match, and nobody blinked. Nobody got frustrated. It was amazing. And on the ride home, I asked you guys, what was it like? And you just felt, you know, you didn't think you were going to ever lose. You just needed to create a momentum, you know, change. So, you know, I mean, that's how we handle pressure.
Yeah. And what type of coaching style would you say that you are?
Well, I'm fairly strict, I would say, but I'll listen to my players. They're on the court, and you know, I have high expectations behaviorally. I have high expectations on the court, and you know, I expect, you know, players will make mistakes, but players have to be together on the court, and they have to get along and see the good in one another in the court and off the court.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
For more information on the Barnstable volleyball team, you can go to their website, or you can come on down and check out one of their games. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Instead of community calendar, today we thought we would share this video of a gannet rescue on Sandy Neck. A northern gannet rescued yesterday morning by Sandy Neck staff after stranding during another large wind-driven tide from Tropical Storm Jose. This is one of 13 gannets, 2 shearwaters, 2 northern fulmars, and 1 tree swallow rescued by Barnstable Natural Resource officers and Sandy Neck staff so far during Tropical Storm Jose. Gannets, shearwaters, fulmars, and petrels are all pelagic birds, which mean they spend the majority of their life out at sea in the open ocean. During strong nor'easters on Cape Cod, many of these birds species wash ashore due to the strong wind and wave conditions. Once grounded, it is difficult for these animals to rest and take off again, so many will succumb to the elements unless rescued and properly rehabilitated. Sandy Neck staff would also like to thank the Cape Cod Wildlife Center for working hard to help rehabilitate these birds after they are rescued from our beaches and coasts. Now let's take a look at this week's board, committee, and commission schedule. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another great show for you. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.